Joining us now is Okpe, just back from vacation.
Vacation?
With stories
I was just
trending around the world. Oh, you didn't travel?
No, I was in Nigeria.
Hello, G. So how did it go?
It was fantastic.
Well, after the program, we'll have a debriefing session. You tell me how you spent the 2 weeks.
Absolutely, I'll
But
do
it's
so.
good to see you.
You too. And you know you're wearing your red tie, which I love.
Yes, especially for you.
Now we are knowing.
Good morning, Adesua. It's not like, yes, I saw you yesterday.
Yes.
We had a great show.
Yesterday, yes.
Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Audrey. Great to have you back.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
Well, good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where a magistrate court dismissed the assault case filed by the Nigerian police against Adamawa Senator Elisha Abo, despite a viral video showing the senator assaulting a woman in a sex toy shop and a televised press conference in which the senator apologized to the victims, Ms. Oshimbibra Wamate. The court dismissed the suit for lack of diligent prosecution by the police. The magistrate, Abdulhai Ileila, said the evidence and exhibits tendered by the police did not establish that the senator assaulted Ms. Wamate. Well, the incident, which occurred on May 11th of last year, sparked outrage among several human rights activists, and now reactions have trailed the senator's acquittal. Well, let's take a look at that viral video before we come back for a discussion.
I said, drop your phone now, I'm talking. You call him, but nobody's arresting you.
Drop the phone.
You're
very stupid.
very stupid. You are very stupid. I think you're very stupid. I began with you. Are you mad? I know where you work. I think you're very stupid. Take her. Go with her. Come. I said, go. My God. I think you're very stupid. Go now.
Why
now? Take her away. Take her away. Can you move back? Move back. Can you move back? You are my friend, I'll slap you. Move back. I said move back. I said out.
No.
Can you out? I'll come out. Go back. You are my friend, I'll slap you. Go with her.
Wait.
I said go with her. I said go. Wait, you know what? Walk out. I said go. Walk out now. I said out. Sorry. I said go out. I beg.
Dr. Abati, this question is for you. Well, despite this damning video evidence, the police still failed to present a great evidence for the case. The person who was investigating, I believe her name was Mary Daniel, the police who investigated, did a very poor job in presenting this case. I mean, I don't understand how they could say that this cannot be proven beyond reasonable doubt with this video evidence.
What the magistrate said was that the evidence that was provided before the court did not establish the charge of criminal use of force and also criminal assault. And what was the evidence before the court? The oral evidence by the victim herself, and then videos that were given. And of course, you've shown a certain video now. I don't know whether that was this particular video that was shown in court.
Yes, with the court document said that video, the CCTV video, even another video as well.
Apparently, there must have been all kinds of videos.
Right.
But the one you've shown this morning was the one that went viral, that Nigerians saw, and that resulted in a feeling of outrage on three grounds, in fact. One, that a man who had been elected senator of the Federal Republic, representing Adamawa North, I think, will engage in this kind of behavior. Second, the assault on a woman. Three, the policeman that was there, that was being given instructions by the senator to carry out that illegal and unlawful arrest of the woman, as it were. Now, but the magistrate may have ruled on technical grounds, and also maybe on the grounds of the failure of the police to carry out diligent prosecution. So what you may say is that the court has relied on technicality, as it were, the same notorious technical grounds to grant the prayer of the defendant that this was a no case, because the senator made a no case submission. However, in the court of public opinion, I do not think that people are impressed with that judgment. The only option that is available, of course, is the option of appeal. But don't forget that at the time the incident occurred, there were all kinds of stories about how the Senator Elisha Abo had tried to make up with the woman. So what was even the quality of the oral evidence that she gave in court. That is one leg of it.
Yes.
The second leg of it is that, look, this is also about our value system in Nigeria. You will recall that shortly after the incident, the Senate set up an ad hoc committee
to investigate. Right.
Now, this is an incident that occurred, I think, is it July or May 2019. Up till now, that ad hoc committee, we don't know whether it has submitted any report or not. So technically, it will look like even the Senate couldn't stand up at the level of principles or values.
Yes.
Now, July, that's a few weeks after this incident occurred. Do you know that this same Senator Elisha Abu was given an Icon of Democracy award?
Yes, I saw that.
By a certain group in Abuja. In December 2019, he was also given by some youths in Adamawa a Beacon of Hope award. So, look, in Nigeria, many Nigerians seem to have lost that feeling of outrage. You know, we have a value, a values, problem in Nigeria. What happened to our values?
Right. Well,
if it was a person, they are beating up an innocent, defenseless woman, and yet he's supposed to be representing some people in the National Assembly, and they are not bothered. They are even giving him awards.
While this was happening, there was a policeman there as well, and the person did nothing. As a woman, Adeswa, I feel really outraged and marginalized with this situation. This lady also presented, this is at Osimbibra, she also presented a medical report, plus her oral submission, and still nothing happened.
I feel disappointed as well, Oji. And at a time where we are talking about the spate of domestic violence, gender violence in the country, we wanted to see an example made of Senator Elisha Abu to say that, nobody is above the law. If you do the crime, you pay for it. But, again, they're saying law is based on facts and evidence and not sentiment. But if you say this was the evidence presented in court, then I'm really disappointed. It makes it even worse.
Yes.
But like Dr. Bachir said, there's an avenue to appeal. And if the woman in this case, in this regard, is not satisfied with this, we do encourage her to press forward.
Yes.
She should not be
I don't know if she should be the only one that would press forward. Before I go to you, Rufai, I'd like to take a tweet from human rights activist Segun Awosonya, who wrote, "This will not stand in our watch. We shall revisit this and ensure justice is served. This must be a precedent, and that will impact our children. It will be giving everything we've got in attention for the sanctity of our society."
I
Hashtag
totally agree.
End impunity. Rufai.
Isn't this Nigeria? This is obvious. This is Nigeria. I mean, we saw everything on video, but the court said otherwise. You can't pull on the technicalities of the law. So, I don't know what to say, because we see these things on video, and when it goes to court, it's either there's not enough evidence, or I don't know. I don't know what to say. It hurts me. It hurts me. This was a nursing mother that was treated that way.
Well, at that time, she wasn't a nursing mother.
She wasn't a nursing mother, but it hurts me. Even if you do it to any human being, you shouldn't do that to any human being on the surface of the planet.
Well,
How much more you're a senator, but this is Nigeria.
Well, I hope that this case
This is
will be
Nigeria,
revisited.
truly, Rufai. Let's hope that the day will not come when we will suddenly see the name of this senator on the national honors list.
I'm not going to be surprised.
And it will be said that he's the youngest senator in Nigeria.
Yes,
and hence
I'm not
he
going to be
deserves
surprised.
national honors.
And let me remind you something real quickly. I think the Actors Guild gave him an award in December.
Yeah, that's what
and Hilda Dokubo kicked against it badly.
Yes.
So this is Nigeria.
This is Nigeria. Very sad situation. Well, still in Nigeria. A video of some members of the Federal Road Safety Corps attacking a tricycle rider for destroying the agency's patrol vehicle along Sapele Road in Benin, Edo State, went viral on social media. The tricycle rider, who is being persecuted for malicious damages and breach of public peace, was apprehended on July 18th for driving on the wrong side of the road. Now, while resisting arrest, the tricycle driver stripped himself naked and began destroying vehicles belonging to the FRLC. In response, a 7-man patrol team of the FRRC viciously attacked the rider. Well, this video I'm about to show you contains graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's take a look. Really disturbing video. Well, I had a contact with the spokesperson for the FRSC, and they said that the case was filed July 22nd. The defendant pled not guilty to 2-count charge bordering on breach of public peace and malicious damage. The case was adjourned to August 5th. And the erring officers have now been redeployed and their ranks have been reduced by disciplinary panel. They were found liable of patrol misconduct, unprofessional and unethical behavior. Well, I don't know about this action. This action clearly contradicts the mandate of the FRSC. I mean, are they supposed to use force on individuals?
Okay, so this video we just saw, this was about the end of the video.
Yes.
The man went berserk. He was driving against traffic. He was accosted, and then he took off his clothes. If you look at the video properly,
I watched the entire length of the video.
You will see the stones and the objects in the hands of the officer. Those were the things he was throwing at them. However, it's not an excuse. We must all learn to be civilized. There's enough blame to go around. The officers in the video were unprofessional, and the FRSC has responded, yes. But I think there's also an issue we need to talk about. It's the relationship between Nigerians and those in uniform. I think there's a lack of trust. And, it is Herculean to, appeal to any Nigerian to trust anybody they see in uniform. And it has built up over the years. And this leads to friction that we see. No matter who it is, if it's the police force, the FRSC, even the civil defense or the Nigerian military, there's always that friction you see with the public and those in uniform. And so you see dirty incidents like this playing out. We must just learn to be civilized. We must learn. They could have just arrested him, let the law take its course, but there was no grounds for him to go berserk after committing the crime.
So that's the question, Adesua. Is it normal for any normal human being to do that? I mean, that's another way. I mean, I feel like the uniform...
They can say they were provoked. They were led to provocation. But there's no excuse. And that's what I'm saying, that it was unprofessional for them, but at the same time, it was uncivilized for the man to have behaved that.
So I watched the entire length of the video. I saw the man strip himself naked. Usually, I mean, people don't do that normally. I mean, there's absolutely...
There was nothing normal about this.
Yes, so that's the question I have.
I'll go with the statement.
Yes.
That was issued by the spokesperson of the Federal Road Safety Corps, BC Kazim. I think it's a balanced, even-handed statement. Quoting the directives issued by the Commandant General of the FRSC. Now, what he said in that statement is that, one, members of the public should not take the laws into their hands when they engage persons that are in uniform. If you have committed an infraction, there are penalties. The FRSC has a long list of infractions and attached penalties. And then you should cooperate with the law enforcement officers. In this particular case, the gentleman shown in that video, he went berserk. He stripped himself naked, as you said. He started vandalizing road safety vehicles. So, there was damage to public...
the uniform of one of the officers.
There was damage to public property. There was assault on his part. He also, above all, constituted himself into a public nuisance.
Yes, that he did.
And I guess it's on these grounds that he has been charged to court. Now, on the other part, the statement by the FRSC also condemned the conduct of the officials. Because the uniform does not give you the opportunity to behave in an unlawful and reckless manner.
Exactly.
And the way they were beating the man, they themselves were taking the law into their hands. The statement said that, look, the way the officers behaved did not follow standard operational guidelines of the FRSC. And it was on the basis of that they were redeployed and also demoted. All of that is within the powers, the disciplinary powers of the FRSC. But there is one missing link in it, and that is the right of the gentleman himself. He may have misbehaved, but the way he was treated and was brutalized by the FRSC officials.
It
yes, he
dehumanized
should have his own
him.
day in court.
Yes.
Then he too can press charges.
He should.
For the violation of his fundamental rights
Yes.
by those FRSC officials.
Yes.
And those are questions that the court can address.
I have a bunch of people saying that he should press charges and that the dismissal, the redeployment or the reduction in rank is not enough and that they should dismiss him. Well, they should dismiss the officers. Well, let's take another story in Nigeria.
Audrey, I'm here.
Yes, Rufai, I was going to come to you, but I was told to take another story. But let's hear from you real quick.
Audrey, the reduction in rank is a big deal. If you know people that work in the civil service, it does hurt a lot, and it's a big deal. But like everybody has said, it's a reflection of what we've become as a nation. It's a reflection. You're supposed to, enforce, or make them see that there are laws when you do things wrong, not beat people up. But when you look at it, it's a reflection of what it's a deeper issue. It's even deeper than FRS. It's deeper than the man himself. There are many issues, and if you just start going through the layers, we wouldn't end here. So it's a reflection of what we've become in the country.
Good point, Rufai. We'll take another story in Nigeria. A bereaved mother of a 27-year-old woman who was killed in an accident in Lagos State has called on the police for an investigation into the accident, which took place on Sunday, July 26th. The young woman, Chidinma Ajoku, was a staff of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. While returning home from work, she was killed alongside her male colleague when a container fell on their vehicle. In an emotional video that went viral on social media over the weekend, Chimanda's mother narrated the tragic story of how she waited to receive a call from her daughter on that fateful Sunday, a call that never came. Let's take a listen.
She was returning from work with her colleague, one Chima, and they were in a commuter bus, and the bus either stopped to pick passengers or stopped to drop passengers, and the reckless trailer driver that was carrying a container was speeding and fell on the bus. I waited and waited the whole night up till 2 p.m. in the night, 2 a.m. in the night, waiting for my daughter to come back from work. I was calling her auntie where she was staying in Surulere, because she was staying in Surulere. I was going to work at the airport. Both of us did not sleep till morning around 6 a.m. when a colleague called me and told me that she was involved in an accident and that they were at a Solo General Hospital. These containers, they keep on killing people and nobody talks. My daughter was 27 years old, working in Federal Airport Authority. She went to Babcock University and she was planning to travel abroad to do her master's in the near future. And this is just how life has been snuffed out of her. I just want to use this medium to appeal to the authorities to bring these people to book. They will just not keep quiet and stop the life of a promising young girl like that and a promising young man like that. Let the government do something because it's getting too much, especially in Lagos. If my daughter's life is going to be used to stop this thing, then let it be what I've achieved. But I cannot keep quiet. Let justice be done. Let these people be punished so that others will learn.
Really sad situation here. Apparently, this young lady also had signed a petition before she died for tankers, these containers, to be taken off the road. This is a really, really dire situation for Lagosians at this point, because at this point, we're not safe. Nobody's safe.
Indeed. And my heart goes out to the family, especially to the grieving mother, who is also a widow. As she said in that video, she just lost her husband a year ago. And this could have been anybody. I mean, this is what happens when the society is lawless and the authorities are irresponsible and irresponsive. Why are we still in 2020 having containers that are not latched onto the articulated vehicles? Why do we have an association for these articulated vehicles not taking responsibility? There's an AMATO, Association of, if I could get that properly, I think it's the the designation, Association of Maritime Truck Owners, AMATO, they have pledged over the years to ensure that their members, do these things. I mean, there are minimum safety standards which we adhere to. Then there are authorities, law enforcement authorities that should ensure that we don't have rickety vehicles, we don't have, containers that are not latched on our roads. But no, nobody's paying attention to that.
Well, I think we should ask for justice for Chidinma Ajoku and justice also for Chima Nyepe. Both of them who died in this heartbreaking, sad, avoidable accident, which occurred at the Lasamaja area of Mushin, as pointed out on July 26. These articulated trucks bearing on large containers have always constituted a menace on the streets of Lagos. And you can't imagine the number of lives that have been lost just because these articulated trucks, they get into a pothole, or the driver is half drunk or half asleep and is driving recklessly, and then the container tips over. The result has always been avoidable tragedy. And over the years, government has said that they would deal with the issue. There have been at certain times regulations regarding hours of movement, but we have not seen it done on a sustainable basis. And we see this kind of waste. In other parts of the world, they use the railway, they use other means to transport containers. But here in Nigeria, you'll find containers, articulated trucks, struggling for road with vehicles and even pedestrians. It is unfortunate.
I believe that the investigation is still going on, and I hope that the truck driver is going to be apprehended as soon as possible. Rufai, I don't know if you have a quick comment, real quick.
I'm very, very sad because I've seen one too many deaths like this. First point is, why can't we have trucks that would act properly, drivers that will drive properly, trucks, containers that are properly latched? And you know what even annoys me the most about these guys? Then they write on the back of their truck, if I drive recklessly. I once tried calling those numbers on them. It doesn't go through. So they all know what they're doing, and that's why we have laws and government in place to be able to clamp down heavily on them. They are reckless, they are daredevil, they take drugs and all sorts.
Correct.
It's very painful.
On that note, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bass.
Ojinika. I feel like dancing.
It's time for great. We'll go dance, don't worry.